half studio, half graveyard, all Hollywood. I'm Jason Horton.
I'm Rebecca Lieb.
And this is Ghost Town. Oh, hello! What is up?
Thank you all so much for coming.
Yeah.
We started as on time as we could make it.
Yeah.
Why did I dress like a giant denim beanbag chair?
But Madison Square Garden, we love you.
We
just
love
want you to know that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, every one of you.
Dynasty Typewriter, hello, Los Angeles.
All 10s. I see a couple 9s, and I want you to leave.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Please don't leave. Donate money to our Patreon.
Yeah. Because there's people going to be listening to this podcast, so they won't get the benefit of kind of seeing what's going on here. So just let them know. I counted. It's about 40K in here, 40,000 total,
baby.
including us. Including us.
No, it's including us. Absolutely.
40,000.
We're of the people. We're just like you.
Yeah.
Literally, we're just like you. Help us.
But everyone, if I had to describe, but I want to let the people listening know how drop dead gorgeous everyone is in here.
Yeah. This is
smoking
packed.
Perfect 10s. There's
it's
one
rowdy,
9 in here,
it's
though.
Raucous.
There is one 9, and it's up to you to figure out who that is. So I also want to say, very polite, everyone didn't want to make Satan upset, so nobody sat in the seat saying reserved for Satan. Big Satan fans here?
Yeah, no.
Big
Everyone's
lovers
very
of Satan.
respectful of the devil.
Well,
And I
either
appreciate
Satan is showing up late, or he's already sitting here,
Tastefully.
and you could sit on his lap. So if anybody wants to sit here, it was just a test.
Tell him
it's
what you
here.
want for Satan Christmas.
Yeah.
Just be casual about
There's
it.
got to be a better name than Satan Christmas. There's got to be something
He'll
catchier.
answer them all.
Yeah.
You just have to be respectful.
Yeah. I guess Halloween would be Satan Christmas, right?
Halloween.
Halloween.
Hallows Eve.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
Not now.
Yeah, I guess that's a whole nother. Why are we wasting time?
Well, it's what we do. We waste time.
Exactly.
If you think, we're disorganized here, when we do this at home, if we record these, it's way more disorganized.
I'm so happy to not be in my cat urine soaked apartment right now. I just want to say, I'm very humbled. I'm humbled to be here. We have real microphones.
Yeah,
we record at home. So you're here for a live podcast recording.
Our very first one.
Very first one. Very exciting.
Yeah. You're at the ground floor of a multi-level marketing thing, but we're not offering anything. We're not even promising anything.
This is not the first time we're going to be talking about Ponzi schemes.
Tonight.
So just wait for it. Just sit tight.
Yeah.
We usually record in my apartment in Echo Park. We have a microphone with 4 coasters.
4
propping
coasters.
it up to get it to
That's
mouth
the industry
level.
standard is 4
coasters.
coasters to put it on.
If we feel sexy, we do 5 coasters.
Yeah,
just
that's
if we want to go all
what?
out.
Yeah,
ham.
like that. What? We're doing that.
Yeah,
That's when we put 5.
We're here to party.
Yeah. We're gonna be. We're talking about some fun stuff, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about some great stuff. Again, you're here for a live podcast recording. You're gonna see how we do it. We're gonna pause for a commercial break. Don't freak out.
Yeah.
That's
where we make all the big money.
That's where we get that money.
The big Hollywood money.
Yeah.
$6, $7, stop.
Yeah. Hello. $2 Patreon. $2 Patreon. Just make it rain.
Yeah.
It's great. It's gonna be real fun.
Yeah.
I got my MFA in writing, so my dad is here too. He's right over there. So here we are, live in MacArthur Park. It's what you wanted for me.
Yeah. Dropped out of community college 5 different times, and we're in the same spot. So
hey!
what? Who knows, right? Who knows what the right answer is?
It's very
we don't
humbling.
know.
I'm not sure.
Don't know.
Woof. Yikes. Well, we are really excited to do this. We're going to be talking about Hollywood. I like how I peeped the sheet to know what we're talking about, because I haven't done extensive research on this. We're going to be talking about Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
Ooh.
Yeah. And Paramount.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And Chipotle.
No, we're not. Why would we talk about Chipotle?
I don't know. I just throw it in there in case they want to sponsor us.
Yeah, really?
To show them that I'm really good at it.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
And we will have some supplemental materials on screen here.
Yeah.
I made a slideshow about 15 minutes ago, so you're welcome.
It's not going to be like
production
your,
value.
your weird folder, right? It's not going to.
My weird folder?
I know you got a weird folder
I
in there.
have 40 weird folders.
Yeah,
you should be so lucky to see my weird folders. Anyway. We're also very excited because we have a special guest joining us. It's our first guest ever.
Yeah, first guest ever, secret special guest.
Yeah, she's not at all affiliated with Paramount, so don't even ask her.
Yeah, get it out of your head.
Affiliate, she doesn't work there. She's never made money there. She is not at all a tome of information about Paramount, so keep it in here.
She doesn't even know how to spell Paramount. I asked her. That's how disassociated she is with Paramount
I'm worried
Studios.
about her.
Well, yeah.
She have a brain.
Well, I mean, we found her in MacArthur Park. She was
did a wandering, looking for parking. Did you guys
not
find
H.
parking?
She wasn't looking for H. She was looking for
in LA.
parking. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Are you gonna do like a Tinder joke next, or what's happening here?
No Tinder jokes this time, and I'm gonna try not to swear because I have family here. And if there's anything that's not gonna make me swear on a recording, it's having a bunch of family members here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do our best. I was just thinking, okay, no, keep it together. Anyway, so why don't we bring out our guest?
Yeah. All the way from nowhere near Paramount Studios.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So don't ask her anything about it.
Paige Smith. Paige, are you still awake? I checked on her.
Yay!
There we go.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Joining
Yeah,
us here.
thank you.
Hi.
So we can get into the thing, right?
Yes. Oh my God.
Let's get into the thing.
Let's get in.
To it. Now we
this.
begin the content.
So it begins. Buckle up. Grab your LaCroix. I read off of a sheet of paper because I'm a historian, and you should take me very seriously. These are all incredibly serious sources that I get. Don't watch me put my password in. Everyone turn around. But yeah, we're going to have some supplemental material. Like the podcast, I read off of paper. So that's a reality of what you're going to be witnessing.
Did you ever think you'd come to a place where you'd sit and watch somebody read off a Wikipedia page? Did you ever think in your wildest dreams
Dad?
that we'll do anything for fame?
Yeah, exactly.
Anything.
Exactly. All right. So, Hollywood Forever Cemetery. It's one of the oldest cemeteries in Los Angeles. It's located in Hollywood, obviously, at 6000 Santa Monica Boulevard between Gower and Van Ness. On the Melrose side of the lot is the iconic Paramount Studios. You don't know anything about that, though,
Never
right?
been.
Yeah.
All right,
Nope,
good.
never been there.
The plot of land is the final resting place of Cecil B. DeMille, Johnny Ramone, Estelle Getty, Judy Garland, Zoolander 2, Indiana Jones.
These are in
Kingdom of
order,
the
by the way,
Crystal
of importance.
Skull, Monster Trucks, Daddy's Home 2. So here's some Hollywood, and even my grandfather and great-grandparents. How about that? You know that about me, huh? You know a lot about my dating history.
It didn't just happen yesterday, so you don't have to be so sad.
History.
You know, just, right?
What?
It didn't just happen yesterday, right? Everyone got really
No.
sad when you said it.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I've worked through it. I processed it, so we can laugh together at it. Great. So Hollywood Forever was founded in 1899 on 100 acres and called, originally enough, Hollywood Cemetery by F.W. Samuelson and a guy named Lombard. No, we don't know his first name. No further questions. Now, Hollywood, as you can see at the time, was really rural. These are like trees. You heard of them?
Heard of them?
It had a population of about 100,000 people, which was surprising to me, and was kind of conceived of as an agricultural community. Now, it was founded by a guy named H.J. Whitley. He is buried in Hollywood Forever, and we don't know where the name Hollywood came from. Let me change this slide to the next one. See that?
Old-timey.
Exactly. We don't know where it came from. There's a legend that has it that he was looking over his land from the Hollywood Hills, and he saw a guy coming up the hill, and he had a bunch of wood with him, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He said, "Hauling wood," and he said Hollywood, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And there's another story about his wife coming on a train from Ohio to Hollywood, and she struck up a conversation with a Ohio woman who had a farm called Hollywood, and his wife liked that name so much that they named this plot of land Hollywood. Now, holly doesn't grow in Hollywood, so I guess we'll never know. You know?
We're not going to figure it out today either.
No, you don't want it?
No, not today.
All right, fine. In 1897, Lombard and Samuelson, along with some other rich white Hollywood people, formed a corporation known as the Hollywood Cemetery Association. You're going to have to just deal with this, everybody. Just slight pause for the next slide. This is what Hollywood Forever looked like back in the day. The cemetery sold off large tracts to Paramount Pictures, which, with RKO Pictures, bought 40 acres by 1920. Part of the remaining land was set aside for the Bethlehem Cemetery, dedicated Jewish burial ground for the members of the local Jewish community, including, here's an old photo of the cemetery grounds, my grandfather's grave, too. How about that? I didn't think we would get any O's.
No, you get like a lot of O's.
And his parents, who are next to him on the south side, right there. Now, he was supposed to be buried, and my dad is in the back, so he will chime in, or my uncle, too. What cemetery was he supposed to be buried in? I forget. Groman Eden. But someone else took his plot. There's a lot of family tumultuousness. I won't get into it because you guys are strangers to them, and that seems like a lot. But anyway, they essentially just wedged my grandfather into Hollywood Forever Cemetery, like under some tree roots, which is a lot how my family operates. So it's a pretty heartwarming story. And Paramount now. Let's get into that. Here's an old Paramount Pictures pick. Paramount is the 5th oldest surviving film studio in the world after the French studios Gaumont Film Company, made in 1895, Pathé, which was founded in 1896, the Nordsick Film Company in 1906, and Universal Studios in 1912, right down the road, right? It's the last major film studio still headquartered in the Hollywood district of Los Angeles. Paramount Pictures dates in its existence from 1912, founding of the Famous Players Film Company. Like Sid Groman, Hungarian-born founder Adolf Zucker, who happened to be like a huge fan of cinema, saw that movies appealed to working-class immigrants. With partners Daniel Frohman and Charles Frohman, he planned to offer family-friendly, feature-length films starring leading theatrical players of the time. By mid-1913, Famous Players had completed 5 films, and Zucker was on his way to success. That same year, another aspiring producer, Jesse J. Lasky, opened his Lasky Feature Play Company with money borrowed from his brother-in-law, Samuel Goldfish, which you might know as Samuel Goldwyn. The Lasky Company hired as their first employee a stage director with virtually no experience, a man named Cecil B. DeMille, who would find a suitable site in Hollywood near Los Angeles for his first feature film, The Squaw Man, which I've not seen, but I assume it is not politically correct.
I don't know.
You're doing great, by the way.
Thank you.
Don't know why I'm here. You're killing it.
No, you chime in. I'm.
I have a little Paramount story, a real
Yeah?
Paramount story. Just real quick, I just thought of it.
That's Cecil DeMille.
Yeah, I mean he'll love this.
Great.
I went pretty recently on a tour. My mother was in town,
Yeah?
and there was a bench for the movie Forrest Gump. Right? You don't know anything
I've
about
heard
that.
that's there. I've
Yeah,
heard
but you
that
have no
before.
idea. So my mother, she sat down and she took a picture and she posted it on Facebook. She doesn't understand what autocorrect is, so it says sitting on the Forrest Hump bench. We had a text chain going with everyone in my family. I have like 5 brothers and sisters. We're like, hey, should we tell her? And we're like, no, we're shitty kids. So we didn't tell her. So we left it sitting on the Forrest Hump bench for like a week because that's how she's gonna learn her lesson, I guess.
The Forrest Hump bench is not on the tour on Saturday at noon.
Yeah.
We will not go there.
Yeah.
So.
Also, my dad got his Instagram hacked. But he doesn't know how to use it. He doesn't know how to use it, so he doesn't deserve to get access back. So now it's selling vape pens. So my dad's Instagram is selling vape pens, and he has no idea what to do, but he doesn't deserve it.
I'm digging this Hollywood history.
Yeah,
It's like illustrious. And
He's
sexy.
Jewish. Isn't that close enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hollywood, run by Jewish media.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure. We'll find out.
Wow. All right, we're gonna find out. It is. I mean, historically, it is.
Yeah.
Everyone
turned
keep
on us.
calm down.
Wow.
God.
Show them your grandpa's grave again. We need to get him
quick,
back.
quick.
Put him back up.
Starting in 1914, both Lasky and Famous Players released their films through a startup company, Paramount Pictures Corporation. In 1916, Zucker maneuvered a 3-way merger of Famous Players, the Lasky Company, and Paramount. Paramount Pictures soon dominated the new emerging film industry. So because Zucker was passionate about actors, he signed and developed many of the leading early stars, including Mary Pickford, Douglas Fairbanks, Gloria Swanson, Rudolph Valentino, many of which are buried in Hollywood forever. We'll get there. The driving force behind Paramount's rise was Zucker. Throughout the teens and 20s, he built the Public Theaters Corporation, a chain of nearly 2,000 screens, ran 2 production studios in Astoria and Hollywood, and became an early investor in radio. Paramount was also one of his first Hollywood studios to release what were known at the time as talkies, which I believe are still popular now.
Yeah. Going
Maybe?
strong. Yeah.
Going strong?
Yeah.
Anyone?
We're gonna be in one day, aren't we?
Oh, a girl can dream.
Yep.
But let's get back to some cemetery scandal because this is where it gets real juicy. In 1939, Canadian transplant Jules A. Hein Frederick Roth, lots of names. There he is, baby.
Just superimposed.
You like that? That's the only picture I could find.
That's some like clip art action right there.
In front of the cemetery
Yeah.
with that glaze, like halo behind it.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah, I'm into
But
it.
so close to his face.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he's
so
in it. He's actually.
we can't tell if he
Yeah.
has hair or not.
No, we don't know. We don't
that
care.
close.
No, we don't care. He bought a 51% stake in the cemetery, which was the internment site of his parents. Now, Jules Roth was a real piece of shit. If you have a friend and you're moving to Hollywood, and they're like, Hollywood, they think of this guy. He is a real D-bag. Born July 23rd, 1900, he wore nice clothes. He had a sexy car. He had a lot of money.
I don't like him already.
And he seemed rich, even though he wasn't, and he kind of was, but whatever. The reality was he was a total con man. In his early 20s, when Roth met a fellow piece of shit con artist named C.C. Julian, a man who had been taking advantage of the tremendous oil boom occurring in Southern California. By using an actual kind of creative newspaper advertising style, Julian had earned millions of dollars in a pyramid scheme, allowing him the money to set up oil derricks and gas stations across the region called Julian Oil Company. But karma's a bitch, and it wasn't long before things began to fall apart with the Julian Petroleum Company. With Roth acting as vice president of the company and lots of fraudulent maneuverings, stock watered down, and if you like records as a whole, suspicions grew. And after the public found out that Julian had sold all his shares of the company, the authorities finally caught wind. A number of men went to jail, but Roth and Julian took the classy route by fleeing the country. Julian made it to Shanghai, burned through the rest of his cash, and committed suicide in 1934.
That's the way to go.
The end of
That's the way to
podcast.
do it. That's the way to go.
Meanwhile, Roth wanted on 39 accounts, nice, no password, including grand theft. And
Now he's just staring at me. Oh, okay, he's back there.
He's still there. He's still there. He's persistent. Including grand theft and securities violations, retreated back to Canada. He was apprehended in Winnipeg, and after his court hearing, Roth snuck through a door reserved for jurors before disappearing to New York, where again he was arrested and taken to Los Angeles. So there he was convicted on 21 counts during his month-long trial, and Roth was sentenced to 9 to 95 years of incarceration.
He picked 9 when he was. He's like 9. I was like, I'll take 9.
Yeah, in San Quentin. But of course, he was a wealthy white man and got paroled in 1937 after only 5 years. Hollywood, what's your dream? But something happens to you at a certain point in your life, like you're reevaluating, you're newly out of jail after fleeing the country, and you're like, what do I want to do? I'm going to maybe get divorced from my wife. I'm going to buy a new car. I'm going to travel the country. This guy, at the age of 36, just bought the cemetery where his parents were buried in full. He really did it up.
Plot
You know?
twist, yeah. Well, sounds
You
cool.
Plot
didn't-
twist.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that one
Back
coming.
to Hollywood forever. You might think, why did they let a criminal buy a famous cemetery? Well, Glendale's Forest Lawn Cemetery, built.
No one was thinking that.
No one was thinking
No,
that?
not at all.
I was sure everyone was thinking that.
None of them.
Well,
Nope, don't do that.
fine. Glendale's Forest Lawn Cemetery was built in 1906 and famously has James Stewart, Jean Harlow, Humphrey Bogart, Carol Lombard, Errol Flynn, Mary Pickford, Gene Autry, Cubby Broccoli, my favorite name to say ever. They were gaining a reputation as more of like the Hollywood cemetery. You know, in the race of Hollywood cemeteries, they were
It's a war, you
Premium,
know what I mean?
premium Hollywood cemetery happening. So Hollywood Forever was losing a lot of cachet. So then Roth took ownership of it, and it further lost cachet. So after buying the cemetery, Jules Roth got busy using the cemetery known as Hollywood Memorial Park's operating money to pay for a lot of personal luxuries. And still, things went downhill. And another note, like most cemeteries in the country, and most of the country at the time, it was a segregated cemetery. Enter actor Hattie McDaniel. Looking good, girl.
I like that little clap back there. Thank you for that. I heard a little
one
tiny little
person.
clap.
Just a little, like,
Yeah, it was
a
nice.
respectful
Yeah, it was a
clap
nice, yeah.
for a decorated actor.
Yeah, this is the theater.
Yeah, exactly. So she was best known for her role as Mammy in Gone with the Wind, which she won an Oscar for, the first African-American
Which is
woman.
missing. Did you know that?
I didn't know
They
that.
don't know where the Hattie McDaniel Oscar is.
What?
Yeah. So she donated her Oscar to Howard University.
Oh.
And then when she passed away, she owed money to the government.
Mm-hmm.
They sold all of her property, including the Oscar. But then it got donated back to Howard, and Howard doesn't know where it is. They say they never got it back. Other people say it was stolen
And it's
thrown
up to
into
us
the
to figure it
river.
out.
Yeah. All
We're
right,
not
everyone,
leaving until we
grab
figure
your
this out.
keys. Just
You
here
are
to
leaving
raise
your parking
awareness.
spots, your well-gotten parking spots. We're going now, tonight. At the stroke of midnight, we leave.
Yeah. The popular rumor is that it was thrown into the river, but
Into what river?
the Potomac.
Oh. Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Damn.
The great old
Yeah.
Potomac.
Don't melt
I
it
don't know.
down. Don't make money. Just throw it into a river.
Yeah.
I think when this planet, when the riverbeds are drying out, we're gonna find a lot of weird shit down there. Like maybe an
A
Oscar.
lot of Oscars.
Absolutely. So Hollywood Forever, she wanted to be buried in it because a lot of her peers were being buried there. Of course, Roth would not allow it because she was an African-American woman. However, Hollywood Forever would be desegregated 7 years later, again, much against the wishes of Roth. And things kept getting worse at Hollywood Forever. In July 1974, the crematory was shut down after singer Cass Elliot was cremated. According to cemetery ground supervisor, the crematory was in such disrepair that as she was being cremated, the bricks were just like crumbling down on her body. It's very graphic.
And that was the
very
last.
jarring.
That was the last cremation they did for a long time.
Yeah,
was
that's right.
hers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was-
until 2002, which we will get to.
Yeah.
But what a last round of
Yeah.
cremations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just like, well, we can't do anymore because we don't have a crematorium anymore because there's bricks mixed into body ash.
I feel like at that
I'm a
time,
doctor.
Hollywood, like there was just economic depression,
Uh-huh.
all over the country, in New York and here, and there was like gas shortages and a lot of crime and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
everything
it
was
was
kind of
not
falling by
good.
the wayside at that time.
including Paramount Studios, which was also not in a good place. Eventually, Zucker shed most of his early partners and then blamed for the near collapse of Paramount in the Depression years. He was tossed out by the board of directors. His overexpansion and use of overvalued Paramount stock for purchases led the company into receivership in 1933. A bank-mandated reorganization team led by John Hertz and Otto Kahn kept the company intact, and miraculously, Zucker was kept on. In 1935, Paramount Publix went bankrupt. In June 1935, Johnny Otterson and Barney Balaban became president, and Zucker was bumped up to chairman of the board.
Who saw that coming?
Falling up. Zucker reorganized the company as Paramount Pictures and was able to successfully bring the studio out of bankruptcy. Maybe worthwhile.
We're back in.
Well, here we go. Their parent company, Gulf and Western, explored selling the studio lot, offering the land back to Jules Roth so he could expand the cemetery. But because he really liked his money going more to Jules, hot tubs, PJs, he passed. So Paramount kept the studio, which is a really good thing because if it sold, movies like The Godfather would probably never have gotten made. Francis Ford Coppola wouldn't have directed. He was a Paramount hire and a real push on Paramount. So
I was
who
in
knows?
the part of that tour that I went out with my mother, the one where she sat on the Forrest Hump bench.
Yeah.
That one, that one?
Yeah.
We were in one of the the studio. Whatever they filmed there, it's like, how about a quiz show? Whatever it was filming there at the time, but that's where they filmed the Godfather. Have you heard about that one, Paige?
Yeah, vaguely, just in my research. But Francis Ford Coppola was a demand of the mafia. They actually said they needed an Italian American to direct the movie.
They were going to call it the mafia. I think
Yeah.
and they were like,
weren't
can't
allowed
do
to
that.
call it the mafia.
Can't call it the
Yeah,
mafia.
you can't.
Yeah, so there were certain demands that the mafia had if The Godfather was going to be made because they were not super thrilled about this movie. One of them was they had to hire an Italian American to direct it, and they weren't allowed to use the word mafia.
And they had to have two
Whoa.
members
That's
of.
why they call them the family.
Yeah, they had to have two.
Family.
They had to have two members, I believe, of the mafia on set at all time, and then they had another one where they're like, "Hey, we're getting a lot out of this." So they were like, "Hey, we want I guess all our friends and extended family to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Is that cool? Real
Yeah.
quick, like, so the scene.
Well,
with-
Paramount's not going to argue with that.
Right, yeah,
The
well, they don't
mafia
have a
says they want to
choice.
be in the movie.
Like, whatever you want.
So the
Exactly.
scene where they're at the wedding, all those wedding guests are all friends and family of the mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
You
the
wanna be a
children
star?
running around, little
Whoa.
mafia kids.
Yeah.
Tiny mafioso extras.
Yeah.
Just baby-sized mafia members.
Yeah.
Running amok.
Tiny little
On a
mafias
set, on
running
a hot
around.
set. Jesus. Okay. So we're gonna stop for a quick break,
Yeah, and we're back.
and we're back.
That's how it works. Technology fills in the gaps,
Yeah,
people.
exactly. So by the 1980s, the California Cemetery Board began receiving regular complaints from the families of the people interred there. Family members complained that the grounds were not kept up. There was graffiti everywhere. There was trash everywhere. The heirs of the well-known makeup artist Max Factor, who was in Bethlehem Mausoleum in 1938, moved his and other Factor family remains to Hillside Memorial Park in Culver City after the mausoleum sustained water damage that made the walls like this horrible shit-stained
It was this
gray
color blue. It was like
Whoa,
this,
that's
like
a
this color
beautiful
blue
that's
right
beautiful.
here. Yeah, it was like
That's
that.
That's avant-garde
Yeah,
podcasting
yeah.
right there. It's very indie. Anyway, in 1986, a Los Angeles woman and 1,000 other plot owners filed a class action lawsuit against the cemetery for invasion of privacy after they discovered that Roth allowed employees of Paramount Pictures to just park in the lot when Paramount was under construction. Just everyone come on in.
Which
Everyone's
they totally
welcome.
don't do anymore.
Oh, insider view.
Paramount
Interesting.
employees.
Deep cuts.
Yeah.
Oh, just park in the cemetery if you're late for work, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's a little hack for you.
Yeah,
You're
life
welcome.
hack.
You're welcome. Donate to our Patreon. Things came to a head in the 1980s because Jules Roth needed to settle some tax bills and maintain his lavish lifestyle. He sold 2 lawns totaling 3 acres that were facing the Santa Monica Boulevard front of the property to a couple strip malls. Now, this is the most exclusive photo I have, everybody.
And we're only at the 80s, people, so strap in, okay?
Yeah.
So if you're wondering how
This is a
long is this, we're only at
never-before-seen photo of a
1980.
strip mall.
January 1st, 1980.
You've seen it here first. We're making history.
There's a little Caesars on this side.
Yeah.
There's a...
And it's scary.
Oh, ghost town. Ghost town. I actually used to live pretty close to here when I first moved out to
Do you know,
LA.
I did.
Yeah.
Little side note. When I first moved here, I did not get an apartment because I was talking to the landlady, and she was like, she was Orthodox, and I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to go to a movie screening at Cinespia," and she was like, "That's disrespectful to be like celebrating and entertaining," and then
Yeah.
she was like, "Not going to rent me the place."
Whoa.
Yeah.
She didn't rent it to you? Or
No,
she did?
but I bought it and kicked her out. No, I'm
Whoa,
kidding. Nothing
no, you
happened.
didn't. No,
I
you
didn't do
did not
anything.
do that.
Unemployed, just like now, so nothing's changed.
Exactly. Life in
Yep.
LA, baby. Yeah, I used to go to. There's a video hut down the way that I used to. My first apartment in LA. I guess it was my second apartment. Was just like immediately got bed bugs.
Yeah.
Like immediately, and I would just walk along Santa Monica. It's okay. I'm in a better place. Look at me now.
Yeah.
MacArthur Park, people.
Yeah.
So I just walked to the video hut, get some videos, head back to my bed-bug-ridden apartment, and just check my phone a lot.
Did you rent the same movie over and over again, or was it just like, did you mix it up?
I would mix it up. I mean, they had like 6 movies there to begin with.
Yeah.
So you just rotate
Yeah.
through it, and then you'd stop by Little Caesars.
Would you
It
get
was an evening.
Would you rent Slackers?
Slackers? Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Slackers.
Biodome.
What is
I
your
can't think of
taste level?
movies. I can't think of movie names.
Forrest Hump.
Yeah, Forrest. Yeah, that is a movie. That is a
That's
movie.
That's
Don't
the
ask me how I know that's a
subtitle
movie.
of this podcast recording.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to it, you guys.
Yeah.
Let's
We're
focus back.
1980.
1994.
Oh, we
Wow,
jumped ahead.
yeah,
Lucky
we're
you
jumping ahead.
guys.
So in 1994, the Northridge earthquake damaged the crypts, and Roth didn't have the funds to repair it. To give you context,
Not the
what?
not the other Crips.
No.
I don't know who's. It might be in the. I don't know who's here.
The Crips, all of the Crips.
Yeah, I was thinking of.
The gang, the Crips.
You know, I'm from the
What?
streets. That's what I
Jesus
what I
Christ.
always go to.
Holy.
Actually,
this
you know,
is going
speaking
in
of a
place.
Northridge earthquake, my wife, who's here, and my mother-in-law, they were in it, and my wife narrowly escaped death.
Whoa.
For real talk. That's real talk. Yeah, I'm
She
using
just
my
pointed
wife
to
for
She just
content.
pointed to the ceiling of the Dynasty Typewriter. Okay, good. Elsie, thank you.
Yeah, she was supposed to. She stayed at a friend's house, and the roof collapsed where she would be sleeping if she didn't stay at her friend's. And then I'd be single, baby, hitting that
my
video
God.
hut.
Thank God you lived.
Not for
Oh,
her.
I've known you a long ass time.
Not good. Not good.
Wow. Okay. So Roth did not have the funds to repair any of the damage that the Northridge earthquake made. To give you context, at the time, Hollywood Cemetery's only revenue was charging families $500 to exhume their graves and move them elsewhere. They would pay families $500 to dig up their loved ones and take them wherever.
For
Just
inflation,
get
what's
them
that in
outta
inflation now? $60,000.
here.
I don't know. I dropped out of
1994?
community college 5 times. What do I know?
Jesus.
You got the MFA.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, $800, and that's my final offer.
All right, sounds good.
Fine. So Roth didn't care. In 1997, Jules Roth became ill after he fell in his Hollywood Hills home. He surprisingly had been embroiled in a scandal regarding another cemetery he owned, Lincoln Memorial Park in Carson. Trouble just finds this guy. You know?
Yeah.
It's not his fault. He's just trying to make a couple thousands of bucks
Yeah.
to sell off to strip malls. Several months before his death, Roth was bedridden and disoriented, and during this time, his will was changed to provide for his business associates and maid, who were the only witnesses to this change and the signature on the change.
Oh.
I'm not a detective. I'm certainly not a historian, as you guys have seen. But I think that there's something up with that.
Yeah. Something's amiss.
Something's afoot.
Yeah.
A little fishy. His relatives, which were listed in his previous will, were written out. Bummer. Also, like, his relatives probably put up with a lot of shit. You know? I feel really bad. Like, throw them $500
Yeah, 500.
to move their family's graves. Roth died on January 4th, 1998, in an ironic twist. He was buried next to his wife, Virginia, his father, and his mother in the Cathedral Mausoleum because the state of California had revoked the cemetery's license to sell its remaining internment spaces. Ousted from his own cemetery.
He probably had a lot of bad karma.
Yeah.
A lot of things following that guy, you know?
Most certainly. We should have reserved a seat for his ghost.
Yeah.
Here. Although I don't think you liked what I am saying.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay.
I need to hear his side of the story, but
Yeah,
whatever.
it's true. You got to get an unbiased account
Yeah.
of his. He's just trying to make a buck. After Roth's death, Tayo LLC bought the now 62-acre Hollywood Forever on the verge of closure in a bankruptcy proceeding in 1998 for $375,000. Now, Tylo LLC was made of some young, hot 20-something brothers,
Ooh.
Tyler and Brent Cassidy.
Twins, baby.
Oh, shit.
Close enough.
Hello. Just right in front of a mausoleum.
The Dylan and
looks like-
Brandon
hell
of
yeah.
the
It's like
Dylan
a
and Brandon
star.
of cemeteries.
Hair-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, that.
They look like the two
Cheekbones.
Corys
Yeah.
posed like that.
Yeah, it's like two JTTs.
Yeah.
Woo! So they were part of a wealthy Missouri family of cemetery proprietors. Oh, but they have some shit too. They discovered that the cemetery's endowment care fund meant to care for the cemetery in perpetuity was missing. Wait for it, $9 million. Just a cool $9 million. The Cassidys also claim that they discovered Mr. Roth's bust in an antique shop. It was part of his personal artifacts that were sold at auction. And another glorious fuck you to the con man of Hollywood Forever. In 1999, the 47th anniversary of Hattie McDaniel's death, the Cassidys dedicated a memorial in her honor at a prime location inside of the graveyard.
Primo spot.
Primo.
They did offer to move her remains to the cemetery,
Oh, yeah?
but her family said, no, we don't want to do that. Don't disturb
settle
the
down.
remains. Yeah.
And they were like, 500s? And they're like, no, thank you. Fair. So the Cassidy brothers invested millions in revitalizing Hollywood Forever and also put a pretty hip. There we go.
Yeah.
Hip spin on things.
Those khakis.
I took this a couple days ago, and that's kind of how it looked then too. How about that? Pretty sweet. They do documentaries there that are played in perpetuity on kiosks and are posted around the web of the people that have died there, so they really revitalize their lives. They do screenings on the weekends during the summer. Cinespia, we talked about a little bit of that.
Have you gone to a lot of them?
Yeah, although last time I went to Cinespia, I couldn't get a seat in the grass.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys go to Cinespia,
There's a science
get
to
a
it.
seat on the fucking grass.
Yeah,
Because if
or-
you do not, and you sit on the sidewalk, the pavement, it was like me, and I was like, oh, a friend from out of town, this will be a nice thing. And first of all, we were watching Saturday Night Fever, which is have you seen Saturday Night Fever recently? Wow. Not a picnic in the graveyard type of a movie.
The last thing I think I saw there was Showgirls. And it was and what Elizabeth
Banks?
Berkeley.
No.
Berkeley? Not Banks.
Berkeley. Yeah.
Okay.
Elizabeth Banks, no. Elizabeth Berkeley was there. She was there. Yeah, she
Yeah?
showed up. Yeah.
Wow.
She tried to hook up with me too. It was so weird.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
weird. I was like, get away, I'm a married man.
Instead of like
She's
a
like,
break-
I bet you're gonna do a podcast in a couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, mention me in the podcast. I'll be there.
Yeah.
There. She didn't buy a ticket though.
Right.
I was looking for her name.
Yeah, no, she was not
No, when
there.
I was there, I was sitting on the pavement watching Saturday Night Fever with a friend from out of town. It was cold, and a torrent of cockroaches, like giant Hollywood cockroaches, like came at us. We were like fielding cockroaches, and I was like, "It's cool, grab the brie."
See, I think
Go.
here's the thing: is you had bed bugs, and the cockroaches. Is it them
Am
or
I
is
the
it you?
common denominator?
I don't know.
I want to stand up. My impulse is to stand up and leave, but I won't because
No.
we got more to say. Okay, so they were doing all these cool things. It's still being held. Sinespi is a real fun part of the cemetery, blah, blah, blah. Just kidding. It's great. It is fun. I don't know why I said it like that. Anyway,
You could wear a big hat. You could wear a
Don't wear a big
scarf.
hat.
No, you can wear a big
It's not
flowy hat.
Coachella.
Have you
It's
gone?
just-
No, I
Paige?
never have.
Oh, really?
I actually haven't.
Get a big
no.
old
You
hat.
just park.
Okay.
Get a big
Isn't
old
it night? Isn't
like
it at
floppy
night
hat.
time?
It's like
Well, it starts during the
evening.
day.
It's
Yeah.
early evening
Okay.
time.
Yeah. And make sure to
Starts at 6.
like bring wine and a little table with your bros and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
with
And
your
then
boys.
stand up like right in the middle of the movie when people are trying to watch it and be like, dude, that's crazy, right? She's naked in the pool.
Is that what the big hat is for? Block as many people as
There's just a lot
possible.
of people with big flowy hats.
I haven't been there in years. But anyway, they reopened. Good news is, Jason, they reopened the crematorium in 2002.
Yeah.
How about that? Round of applause.
Yeah,
for
wow.
opening the crematorium
Yeah.
back up. We back in business. The party can continue.
Yeah.
So as Hollywood Forever's profile in Los Angeles gained favor, business improved. The cemetery became a popular location for Russian clients who cherished monuments atop their graves.
There's a lot of Russian
yeah,
names.
30% of the cemetery is now Russian.
I saw it. Like it was an article.
That's
like
not. That's
it was like like Russians dying to get buried at the Hollywood Forever or something like that.
That
That
was
was like
a
that was like the
title of
click.
it.
Yeah, that was the of this article.
That's
Like,
a horrible
funny.
title.
well, I think they were like dying to get in.
Yeah, I get
You
it.
know.
I get it.
Do you?
No,
Do
say it
you?
again. Say it one more time.
Russians
Okay,
dying.
okay.
Okay.
Most cemeteries.
Not Russian, by the
Okay.
way. Right there.
Johnny Ramone is not Russian, but he does have a pretty great, pretty iconic memorial gravestone. But most cemeteries ban monuments for religious reasons. Hollywood Forever has no restrictions. Custom designed headstones include towering blocks of granite, life-size statues, and elaborate portraits engraved in stone. They will go from $20,000 to $200,000. So they're making that money now, you know?
Those brothers.
Those brothers.
God.
If you're listening and you're not here, you're not one of the thousands of people at our live podcast. First of all, next time, figure it out. And also, we're gonna put up some pictures. We're gonna put up some steamy pictures of
Yeah.
the Cassidy brothers.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be great. But in 2010, scandal returned. Jules Roth would be so proud. Brent Cassidy and his father were arrested for running a Ponzi-like scheme and stealing more
With a
than
name like Brent Cassidy, you know he's doing that,
Yeah.
right? That's kind of name that person does
He's
that.
the kind of guy that like paid someone to make him a single.
yeah.
You know, like he had like a music career for
Oh
a
yeah.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Rebecca Black style. Anyway, he was also doing Ponzi shit. So he was arrested for stealing more than $450 million from a pre-need funeral company they ran in Missouri. Authorities determined most of the money used to renovate Hollywood Forever came from these ill-gotten proceeds. Brent and his father pleaded guilty to wire fraud and money laundering and were sentenced to prison. Tyler Cassidy was not charged in the case. He's okay, but Brent sold his interest, and now it's a family-owned trust with a board of directors. And even to this day, Hollywood Forever continues to thrive, and celebrities are again choosing the location for their last rites. George Harrison was cremated at Hollywood Forever, and his ashes were scattered in India. Other recent burials are Tony Scott, Chris Cornell, and you know...
Scott Weiland recently.
Was he?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Fred Armisen will be buried there.
Right.
Yeah, no, there's a...
So.
On the tour, if you take the tour, we'll go by
Yeah.
there. So
It says, yeah, that's a real
no,
thing. Yeah.
It is a real... We're not making any of this up.
No.
You said it like we made some stuff up on
They
this
have to figure it out,
recording. It's not there. It's like a scavenger hunt.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I thought it was a murder mystery. I thought we were doing a murder mystery.
Where is Satan?
Yeah, Satan, maybe he's there. I don't know what he looks like.
I don't know. So you put some stuff in the cemetery, but you got to take some stuff out. So in 2017, there was a Confederate monument in Hollywood Forever, put in by the Long Beach chapter of the United Daughters of the Confederacy. And in 2017, again, it was taken out. Bring stuff in, KonMari it out. Does it bring you joy? No? Does the Confederate monument bring you joy? Get it out.
Yeah.
Get it out of there. And Paramount, too, after all of this, they had their own ups and downs, persists, as you might know. In 1994, Paramount was bought by Viacom, and in 2006, Paramount became a parent of DreamWorks Pictures, and surprisingly enough, is arguably more haunted than its neighbor, Hollywood Forever.
Ooh.
So now we get to the real facts.
Do you want me to get? Are you jumping? You going to Paramount now?
No, we're going to ghost shit now.
Okay. Because I have some.
Yeah, why don't you say some stuff?
Do you want to? I just have a couple of little fun little facts
Yeah, say
about
some
something.
facts.
Yeah. So we talked about. We saw it like the Johnny Ramone monument is like pretty popular, right? It's like pretty much the one people go to. So for one thing, he's not in there. His ashes are with his wife Linda Ramone.
Okay.
And when she dies, both of their ashes will go in there. So right now it's just really it's like kind of symbolic. But how Joey Ramone got the idea, because I don't know if any Ramones fans out there. I'm a huge Ramones fan. I met Joey Ramone.
Okay,
He's
relax.
super cool. Well, I don't know.
You're
I like
a famous guy.
I like
Again,
to talk
you're a
music.
famous guy.
I like to. I'm a huge. This is my fun part. Let me do my fun thing. You had the Cassidy brothers. You know what I mean?
the Cassidys.
We all did though, didn't we?
Yeah,
though?
we
all had a
did.
little piece.
We all
had a
experienced
little
that
tiny
together.
piece.
We're forever bound.
But I
Cassidy's.
kind of like wondered like why, you know what I mean, why Johnny Ramone would want to be, because he's kind of a more conservative Republican type. So I thought maybe he would be like Hollywood. But
Yeah.
Dee Dee Ramone, also Ramones, who died at was it 6740 Franklin, a little fun thing, died of a heroin overdose. He was buried there, and because he died there and he was living there, and Johnny Ramone went there and he was like, I want to be buried here. You know what I mean? This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he wanted it to be like Jim Morrison's his grave in Paris. He's like, I want it to be something like that where people can kind of come and kind of, make it a thing and celebrate. So that's kind of how that came about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do another little Ramones connection. Alana Clarkson, who is also buried there, and she was killed. I guess not according to Phil Spector. She was. She was.
Loved guns.
Yeah, she just loved. Well, so Lana Clarkson, she was working at the House of Blues. She met Phil Spector and was like, "I'm gonna go home with this dude.
Yeah.
Seems pretty chill.
Yeah,
seems like a hell of a guy."
He only carries 4 guns with him, and he has 40 in his home. What could go
one
wrong?
is in his hair. Like one is lodged in his big ass bake
You're
of hair.
just thinking of that one picture of him.
That's
the
why.
one Phil
Why would I
Spector
think of a different
where his hair
picture?
is like,
If I have that,
he
why do I
looks-
need another
it's
one?
like a David Lynch movie
Yeah.
in one photo.
Yes. So she's like, I'm going to go home with him. And the driver was outside. And Phil Spector comes out. He hears a gunshot. Phil Spector comes out. He's like, I think I shot her. Then Phil Spector said, no, just kidding. Haha. She wanted to kill her. She wanted to kiss the gun, meaning suicide.
Yeah,
but
that's a cool guy.
now, if there is a lot of Phil Spector fans, Phil Spector stans out there, sorry.
Yeah.
He probably did. He probably definitely did it. And he's
My
in jail.
family also has a Phil Spector connection, I believe, right? They're nodding in the back. Is that true? Right? Yeah. My great uncle
Phil.
Great uncle Phil.
Phil Spector.
Yeah, I'm related to Phil Spector. That's the big reveal.
Yeah.
No, my great uncle Marshall was in the band the Teddy Bears.
Oh, that was his
With-
band. Yeah.
Phil Spector.
Yeah.
That's it.
But Phil Spector produced a lot of great albums and stuff like that. But one of them was the Ramones' End of the Century. Do you remember Rock and Roll Radio, Chinese Rocks? And he would literally they'd be there 14, 15 hours and not record any music. And then there'd be a thing where you just hit the drum once for hours. And then when they're like, we're going to go, he's like, nope, I got a gun. You're staying here.
Yeah,
That was Phil
it's
Spector.
like Wall of Sound. How about Wall of Guns?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How about that reference?
Yeah,
it's my one musical reference that I've ever known.
Little Beach Boys.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
Phil Spector.
Yeah.
We could do a whole podcast about Phil Spector someday. Right?
Yeah.
You can come.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can be there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Your grandfather did.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly. Exactly. If you can make some kind of connection, you can be there.
I have to be related to him too somehow.
Not related. Maybe you served him some pizza one time. If you ever had a wait staff position.
How
Maybe
long has
you
he been in jail
saw a
for?
picture. Have you seen that picture?
Since
of him?
2009, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He murdered her in 2003. I believe I got the dates correctly. And it finally, in 2009. And he's not allowed to wear his wig in jail.
Yeah, that's
Cruel.
I feel like that's the only thing.
The criminal
That's the only thing they
industrial
report
complex.
on.
Yeah.
It's always the status of Phil Spector's wigs.
Yeah. All his pictures are all different hairs. Everyone is different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You collect them all.
Yeah. Got to catch them all.
You could be his prison pen pal. We should get on that.
All right.
Right to
Yeah.
Phil Spector?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet he doesn't get a lot of mail.
I don't know.
No,
More,
I mean,
more or less than Charles Manson.
With the way true crime is and people
Yeah.
kind of I don't know,
fangirling
fetishizing
out.
like serial killers. You know what I mean? Who knows?
But was he a serial killer?
No, but I'm saying the way
no.
people sell. You know what I mean? People. are in
Yeah.
love
He
with
just
people
loved killing people and threatening people with lots of guns all the time.
Yeah.
Ugh, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Anyway, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Did you? Are you going to talk about Griffith? Was it Griffith?
Griffith
Jake
J.
Griffith?
Are you going to talk
yeah.
about that? Is that coming? Okay.
No, I mean, a lot of this, if you're coming to the tour at noon on Saturday, we're going to talk about specific graves. We're going to talk about Moar ghost stories. We're going to talk about strange stories that happened in the park. We're just kind of doing an overview because, goddamn, it's getting late, you know?
Yeah. Well, he shot his wife
Yeah.
by accident.
Yeah, exactly. Out the window,
Yeah.
2 stories by accident in Santa Monica in her eye.
And you all go to Griffith Park, and you're like, I love Griffith Park.
Yeah, oh my God, I like to
love
hike. I like
it.
going up to the observatory. It's a
Ooh.
good date night in the observatory. Guess what?
La La Land.
Griffith J. Griffith, he was
Shot his
a
wife in the
crazy
face.
person. He was a
In the
crazy
face.
person.
Didn't kill her.
He wanted
No.
no,
No,
he didn't kill her. And
didn't
she
kill
was
her.
very well liked by Los Angelinos. She promptly divorced him. He went to jail. Then he was like, "Hey, City of Los Angeles, you want this park
Yeah.
for a price?" And they're like, "No,
Yeah.
get out of here, go back to jail." And he's like, "Fine. It's a long game, I get it." And then he's like, "All right, how about I gift you this park?" And LA's like, "I'm listening."
Yeah.
Well, he
And-
thought the land was haunted too,
Yeah,
so he didn't
exactly.
even.
He had an
he didn't want
ostrich
it.
farm on the land too. That's again. This is
Yeah,
a whole.
well,
We
this is-
did a podcast about Griffith
We
Park.
sure did. Yeah.
Exactly. There's a lot of fun stuff with that guy.
And he
He's
thought his
very-
wife was conspiring against him
Yeah.
with the Pope.
He had a very. He was a healthy man.
Yeah.
Mentally speaking. But yeah, he has a really interesting history. He's in all of the Hollywood founders are in Hollywood Forever Cemetery. But let's talk about some ghosts now.
Ooh.
Just quickly, and then you can go to bed. So the stages of Paramount Studios are located closest to the cemetery. People report seeing spirits clothed in 30s and 40s garb. Additionally, they report hearing mysterious footsteps wander through the studios and equipment turning on and off. Is that true?
Yes.
Not that you would know.
No,
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Great. The original producer and creator of Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry, haunts the lot, the Paramount lot.
Mean Gene Roddenberry.
Yeah.
Scaring the shit out of
Right,
everyone.
okay, there's the lot.
He does
It's
not
okay.
haunt the
I
Roddenberry
did
building.
not take
though.
this from my car. There's Gene Roddenberry. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, why?
Grateful life.
That's not Griffith J. Griffith. Or Phil Spector. It's not everyone's like.
So he died in 1991, and he haunts the old Star Trek sets, leaving a whiff of aftershave. I love it when ghosts leave like a little smell.
When they
Yeah.
smell good, yeah.
Drakkar
I can barely
Noir
smell
or something
good, and
like
I
that.
am just a living human woman. So when a ghost can smell good, it's like, relax. You're already amazing.
Well, maybe somebody you can maybe page if there's something you maybe heard through the grapevine. Charles Bronson.
Yeah.
Because his original last name was like whatever it was.
Charles Buczynski.
Yeah, and they were like, that name sucks.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
he just looked out and he's like, Bronson? Charles Bronson?
You just
Yeah.
looked at a street sign?
The
Pretty much-
intersection of Marathon
Yeah,
and Bronson.
that's how he got the name
yeah,
Charles
Charles
Bronson.
Marathon
Wow.
wasn't going to fly, so
Yeah.
Charles Bronson.
Yeah.
So we got
Wow.
it. I mean, you know.
That's right.
Legend has it.
Thank God he didn't live in the Deep Valley.
Yeah.
Charles Whipple. Charles Lancashire.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank God. Then there's stage 19. Spooky stage 19.
yeah.
Right? I wish I took that photo. And that is one of the most haunted places in Paramount, where Happy Days and Wings was shot. Most security guards refused to work the night shift on stage 19. Security guards have it pretty rough when things are haunted.
Oh, yeah. They've got all the
Right.
stories. Definitely.
And I'm sure you can weigh in on this, but it's haunted by Heather O'Rourke, the little girl from Poltergeist. How about this?
Carol Ann.
Right? I don't have that headshot. That's not my possession. I found that on the internet. That's also my mouse.
Do you think she really wrote that? Didn't she pass away when she was really young?
Yeah, she was 12.
Yeah.
You can write your name when you're 12.
Not like that. Right?
It's a beautiful script.
It is. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's when you
I'm
learn,
jealous.
you
That's
know?
all.
Exactly. According to the USC Digital Folklore Archives, this is the first citation I've had in 45 minutes. One evening, a man was talking to a night shift security guard who worked on stage 19 about the paranormal activities that go on at the studio. The security guard told the man that almost every night he hears running and laughing on the catwalk above the set, which is where Heather liked to play when she was on set on Happy Days. Also, unsafe. Don't let little actor girls run through the rafters. It was a different time. Anyway. The security guard also told the man that sometimes they'd see the little girl playing on the stage. The man asked what they do when they see her. The security guard replied that they usually just tell her to leave and she runs off. I love that. A little girl actor that takes direction. Even in death.
Yeah.
The man decided that of this testimonial from the Digital Folklore Archives that he wanted to test this out for himself. The guard led him onto the stage at midnight and bid him good luck before shutting the stage door. The man walked around and waited. He prepared himself to hear the running on the catwalk or to see Heather playing, but nothing happened. Finally, after 20 minutes or so, he decided to provoke the spirit a little by telling her to come out and play.
Carol Ann. Carol Ann.
He would just use her regular name.
Heather O'Rourke. Doesn't sound as good. Heather O'Rourke. Doesn't sound as good.
No, you're right. Not a second after the words left his mouth did the man feel a hand brush across his lower back. It's kind of sexy, though.
It was a different time. Is that what you're going to say?
That was different. He immediately ran off the stage in terror. Outside, he told the security guard what happened and that he didn't exactly expect anything to happen. The security guard laughed and told the man that his expression looks just like the expression of the editor for Wings, not because of Wings, but because that he saw when he was editing the shots, Heather's face in the background.
This is very Wings heavy.
Wings heavy.
The most
What do you
I've ever
expect of
talked
me?
about, or anyone's talked about Wings in a while.
Exactly.
Nice.
The ghost of Wings
Ooh.
just haunts our spirits.
Yeah.
Back in Hollywood forever, one of the many ghosts that possibly resides within the cemetery isn't Rudolph Valentino, but instead a ghostly woman in black who visits him to bring flowers.
She shoos people away, right? Is it something like that?
She kind of shoos. There's a bunch of them,
Yeah.
too. Okay, there he is. Valentino died at 31, pretty young, on August 23rd, 1926.
From a curse.
From a curse.
He was cursed.
An ulcer.
Yeah. That's why he died so young. He got a cursed ring.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't read this online.
The shop owner warned him that the ring was cursed, but he bought
Why
it
is he
anyway.
selling it? Don't
Right?
sell the ring.
It's his fault.
I don't know.
But Valentino had the ring, died really young of ulcers. The ring was given to his lover. She didn't die, but she got really sick and her career never recovered.
Ooh.
She gave the ring to someone.
That's worse. That's worse.
I have it.
No, a fate worse than death. And then it was given to her friend who was a singer. He was shot and killed.
Whoa.
He gave it to another guy who died in a truck accident. He gave it to his brother. And at this point, everybody knows that the ring is haunted. So the brother put it in a safe house, locked it up.
Then
and
Phil
it was
Spector
stolen.
It's tangled in a wig as we speak.
I'm taking creative liberties here with the information. Sorry, everybody.
Cite your sources. No, then the ring was stolen from the safe house. The thief was shot down
Jesus.
in pursuit of the ring. Then it was locked away in a bank, and some guy wanted to make a movie about Rudolph Valentino, took the ring out,
And died 50 years
put
later.
it on the actor, and then the actor died.
You can't make that up, you know?
These are facts. Curses
what-
are facts.
Curses are... if you take away anything from this
Yeah.
podcast recording, curses are facts.
Yeah.
All right.
So now the ring is in a bank vault, but a lot of people have tried to steal it, and it survived a lot of fires, but there's also theories that it has been stolen.
Wow.
So check your rings.
Yeah.
Check your rings.
Everyone here looks great. We talked about that, so it's nobody in here.
Nobody in here. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you can look great and die.
Oh. Ooh.
Huh?
Is that a challenge?
Should we put that on a mug?
yeah.
Maybe we should put that on a mug.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Valentino died. It is suspected that 100,000 fans gathered outside the funeral home in New York City. It's even rumored that a wax replica was utilized at the service in order to protect the real body of Rudolph Valentino and keep it safe from his adoring fans. As his body was brought back to California, fans gathered in railroad stations across the United States to simply catch a glimpse of the train carrying him. It's great. It's like an election.
But I think the way we kind of elevate celebrity now, it kind of it makes a lot of.
He's also they say he was like the first sex symbol.
Yeah, totally.
There's
until the Cassidy's.
yeah.
Until the Cassidy's. Apparently, in movie theaters, women would faint in the aisles when Rudolph Valentino came on screen.
Wow.
He says such a cool name. That's why, though.
Yeah,
His name is so
Rudy,
freaking cool.
right?
Yeah.
Man.
Google-eme is not that great. Get rid of that Google-eme. 86 that, please.
We're respectful, right? On a scale of not respectful to absolutely respectful, where
He
do
would
we
laugh.
fall?
Valentino
Okay,
would laugh.
Thank you.
And he's like, hey, take this ring. That's what he would do after that.
Yeah. So even a plane flew overhead, raining thousands of rose petals down on the proceedings. Glamorous.
Yeah.
So he is in the second hallway on the left side of the cathedral mausoleum. So after he was laid to rest, the real mystery began. On the anniversary of his death, the crypt was visited by a mysterious woman in black, clad from head to toe, including a black veil. She left roses at Valentino's resting place. Every year she returned. I got some pics of that too. How about that? So, just slowly, nondescript, like really low key.
Other than that, she seems great.
Yeah, exactly. One suspected rumor was that the woman was Pola Negri, who claimed to have been engaged to Valentino at the time of his death. We're not in the 40s. A woman named Marion Watson came forward and proclaimed that she was the lady in black, that Valentino had proposed marriage to her before she died, and that he had fathered at least one of her children. Other women also came forward with outlandish claims of their pet. There's a bunch of photos like this where it's just like women.
One more terrifying than the next.
Exactly. Finally, a woman named Dietra Flame came forward.
Oh, jeez.
This is your favorite part. Supposedly, when Dietra was very young, she became seriously ill and was in the hospital. Valentino was friends with her mother and came to visit the sick girl, bringing her a single red rose. A little too romantic for a kid's hospital visit. But
It was a different time,
who's
though.
counting?
Yeah.
He told her, "You're not going to die at all. You're going to outlive me by many years. But one thing's for sure: if I die before you do, please come and stay by me, by my side, because I don't want to be alone either. Please come talk to me." So Dietra recovered shortly after Valentino's visit, and after he passed away, remembered what he said, visited him yearly, but never publicized her story. She finally came out when too many pretenders began appearing, citing herself as the lady in black, and by 1954, she became one of the many ladies visiting his grave, causing an annual memorial service. Frustrated at the large production that was being made of her annual trip, she stopped visiting for many years before resuming wearing street clothing in 1977. In 1984, she passed away and was buried. Her tombstone identified her as the Lady in Black. Many visitors still believe that the original Lady in Black, whoever she may have been, still spiritually visits the grave, placing flowers on it, her ghostly presence still paying respects to Valentino.
Whew.
I stumbled over a little bit of that, but not all of it.
That's intense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What I feel you got something, Paige. What get it? I feel like you got stuff.
Was the ring not enough?
No.
No. Oh, so Valentino probably definitely haunts Hollywood forever, but he'll also come over to Paramount.
His lunch break.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, oh, I have
Hit that commissary.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'll just hop on by the lemon.
Yeah, Lemon Grove. Come through Lemon Grove.
Exactly.
And so there's a building on the lot that's named after him, and security guards say that they can hear tap dancing because he was a dancer before he was an actor. So he's still
free entertainment.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Then we got a couple more to go through, but I got to put my password in here too. Also, well, you don't need to see this. Clifton Webb died in 1966. He was the original Mr. Belvedere. He haunts the Abbey of Psalms mausoleums. Strange lights, draft of cold air, smells of cologne, again the cologne, and whispered voices have been recorded coming from the mausoleum. He is also supposed to haunt his old house at 1005 Rexford Drive in Beverly Hills. Even when he was alive, Webb believed that his house was haunted by a ghost, and after his mother died, he believed that her spirit moved in as well. Whoa, so it's like his spirit, her spirit, another spirit. How many spirits live in a Beverly Hills home? Many. He had a friend in psychic that had an old throne that the chair is supposed to be a place of honor, essentially memorializing Clifton Webb, and that is also supposed to be haunted. He's supposed to sit in it, and actually, if women try to sit in it, they are thrust out of the chair.
good.
All right. Exactly. So, here we go. There he is. The last spirit said to reside in Hollywood Forever's walls is the ghost of Virginia Rapp. She's got kind of a Keira Knightley vibe to her, I would say.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Sure.
Okay. Wow. Thought I'd get a little more support from my
see it.
co-hosts, but
Yeah.
In the
fine.
mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mouth?
Yeah.
Okay. Jawline?
Like bent it like Beckham
All right.
times. Yeah.
Fair. So she attended a party on Labor Day in 1921 in San Francisco at the St. Francis Hotel. The party was in celebration of a recent contract that Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle and he should have his own episode as well. But she was celebrating him. During the party, she became ill. An ambulance was required to come get her, and a few days later, she died at the age of 26. Scandal ensued with claims that he had raped her. After 3 high-profile trials, the first 2 ended up with hung juries. Oh, boy. Arbuckle was eventually found not guilty, but his career never recovered. Now in Hollywood Forever Cemetery, there's supposed to be an icy coldness around her site of her grave, and the sound of sobbing can also be heard as well. Sorry, Virginia.
If you stare at that long enough, it freaks you out, man.
Does it follow you?
Really no, she's gone.
Now she's gone.
Yep.
And then finally, Lemon Grove Side. It's the entrance. It's the thing that brings them both together. It goes from Paramount to Hollywood Forever, and it's supposed to be the ghosts can stroll right in, walking around the gate, Rudolph Valentino poking their heads in, generally just having a party and doing their thing.
Yeah.
Through the graveyard into Paramount Studios.
Whoa. Do we miss anything like that you may have heard of, like Paige?
Oh gosh.
Little quickie little thing.
There are other haunted sound stages. Stage 25 is haunted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. By a costumer. So
bring
who
a book.
cares?
Yeah.
You know.
He's not a heartthrob. I'm not interested.
Yeah, no, that's you hit a lot of the good ones, and you'll hear more about it on the tour, I'm sure.
Yeah, the tour's gonna be great.
Definitely.
It's at noon at Hollywood Forever. We meet right outside the gift shop. So if you want to buy something, I made a little map, and we'll go into even more depths about the specific people and their stories in the graveyard. It's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be a wholesome time. Hail Satan.
Yeah. And I guess what this has been
Hollywood Forever and Paramount Studios episode of
Ghost Town.
Woo!
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you to Dynasty Typewriter.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you to our manager,
WME Studio 71 for
thank
making
you,
the podcast happen.
Thank you so much for coming on the
Paige
podcast.
Smith,
Thank you.
everybody.
Amazing, not affiliated
Thank you
with
so much.
Paramount. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Stephen Safwich. Thank you, Lizzie Stidham.
Lindsay.
Thank you for all your support. Thank you for our Patreon
We have
supporters.
a podcast. Download it. Listen to it. We have more
Please,
episodes.
why not? If you
if
sat through this, maybe sit through another.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Try it
everybody.
out. Yeah, thank you.